So in Skyfall, we find Bond in a particularly vulnerable or wounded place. What is it like playing Bond as a man who's maybe not quite at the top of his game as he used to be?
Kind of easy, really. I mean, I kind of always say, but we always go back to the Fleming books, and it's sort of in there. He's kind of conflicted and kind of doesn't know sometimes what the hell he's doing or why he's doing it. And so it seemed to be, a great place to start the story and a great place to build upon to make the story kind of work much better. So it's kind of just good fun to play.
This is your third film as Bond, of course. Has it gotten more comfortable over time?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it's just got. I still get a huge kick out of it. So that is all that matters to me, and we're still trying to make them better and make them more entertaining. That's what is, the only deal really.
This film really gets deep into your past, Bond's past, and his relationship with M. Can you talk a little bit about the relationship you forged with Judi Dench over these 3 films?
Just to get her working more, I think. She's just not been in the movies enough, so we had to get her in there.
Underappreciated.
Yeah, totally underappreciated. She doesn't get any recognition for what she does. She's so wonderful and lovely to work with, and such a great actress. And their relationship has kind of been building and building, and it's just, I think it's just to have them playing off each other like that is fascinating for me to play, and also just I think to watch as well. Hopefully, it's emotional and it's real, and they've got a very tight relationship.
Your scenes with Javier, who plays the villain, are really intense, but also kind of weird and funny in a strange way. Can you talk a little bit about the dynamic between you two?
Just that they're hilarious as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I just think it's, I think he just plays it to the hilt, and it's just a joy to work with someone like that who's just giving, just giving so much. And I had a great time working with him. It's funny.
I have one last question. It's from a reader of our site, Jordan Conitzer. He asked, what has been your absolute favorite moment so far playing Bond?
I think this movie, the whole of it, has been, I mean, I know that's sort of probably a bit of a woolly answer, but it's kind of true.
So this character, this seems like it was a lot of fun to play. I mean, even for a Bond villain, this guy is pretty out there. What was it like to sink your teeth into Silva?
I mean, I knew we had some good material in our hands, and then Sam came to me, and we discussed many options. And from that moment, when I talked to Sam, I knew there was something that, as you said, you can sink your teeth on and have fun with it, because it was more complex than maybe what I would expect, I guess.
Yeah, like how long does it take you to figure out what makes this guy tick internally?
You just work on that. You just work to try to find that thing that defines the character, and only that character. And I guess we were finding it while we were doing it. It was work in progress then. It was not something that it was written in stone beforehand. It was like, okay, let's try this way, let's try this other way, and then some things will pop out and it will work, and some others won't work. But Sam is there to tell you, no, don't go there, or yes, come back to this.
Yeah, I'm wondering about like rehearsal time, especially the scene between your initial scene with Daniel is so kind of unusual, but and funny and weird. Was that played that way from the get-go, or did that take a lot of rehearsal to get to?
We rehearsed, we saw the different approaches to it, but then it's only when you're on the set and you have that adrenaline that you need to have on any set, that things start to happen. And of course, they were written, but some others were not, and they were pointed out, but they were not specially written for the occasion.
I have a question from a contributor, Nick Bosworth. He asked, being that Bond has faced so many villains in the past, how did you approach making Silva stand apart from the others?
I don't know. I mean, again, it's really about how the character is described on the script and what's the material you're working with. That's something that you really react to with a yes or a no. And when I read it, I said, this seems interesting enough, because there's something personal in this character that I makes him more approachable. And then, again, Sam Mendes came to me and gave me this word of, he told me to use uncomfortableness as a guide. And I like that word. I said, okay, let's create something uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah. You know, most actors are incredibly lucky to play at least one memorable villain. You've just nailed your second, I think, instant classic villain. How difficult is it to get into that psychotic state of mind?
I don't think it's difficult at all. I don't think it's more difficult than or easier than any other characters. It's always about trying to chase what defines that person. But there's always a person behind those roles. There's always a human being. That's what attracts me to do those roles or any other role. But it doesn't depend on you. Also, it depends on the movie, the story, the directors, the colleagues, the great actors. We're talking about No Country for Old Men, Coen Brothers, and Sam Mendes, James Bond. It's like, okay, I mean, you have good company that helped you to be very well protected.
So after you're cast in Skyfall, do you immediately start to feel the pressure of joining this cinematic royalty, as it were?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely felt the pressure in the beginning and all the expectations, and felt like I wanted to live up to those and fulfill what it means to be a Bond girl or a Bond woman. But I actually discovered the way to get through that is to throw off all those expectations, because they don't really help. And ultimately, you've been cast because they want you to provide something original, and that's really important, because that's what the brand is doing. It's constantly reinventing itself.
Well, no, I felt instinctively that all those people, Sam, Daniel, Javier, or Refine, would need some advices or help being relaxed, or so I was very thrilled to be part of that project and help them in my way to do their job even better than they could do before. So I think they are very proud having us on the set.
Yeah, right. I'm sure it wasn't a negative thing for them. What was the key to finding that that balance in your relationship with Daniel? It's sort of flirtatious, but also respectful.
I think it's about the fact that they're two field agents. So they both have a mutual sense of respect, and also they're very aware of the boundaries that are involved in that work. So as much as you meet your fellow agent and find them attractive, you always know that there are certain limits which you shouldn't cross.
And you know, for you, your role is not a typical Bond seductress. I mean, you feel the character has sort of a deep, sad background, and you feel sympathy for her. Did that make the character more compelling?
Yeah, absolutely. This is important for me to bring some humanity to a character, because it's important that, yes, the audience would have a special tenderness for the character. So it was very exciting working on different aspects: the dangerosity, the bit of animality, but a lot of humanity too.
I have a question from a reader of ours, Jamie Zachariah. She wanted to know what kind of training did you have to go through for the film?
I had to do a lot of training. For 2 months before the movie started, I was training 5 days a week for 2 hours, doing all the physical training, combat training, running, yoga. My trainer used a lot of yoga to get me into shape. And then I was on the gun range 3 times a week, and then I was also doing stunt driving as well, and also combat training. So there's a lot of work that went into getting ready.
Did you have to do anything special?
I had to learn how to undress very quickly when an amazing guy comes and, you know, just hello baby. So it was very difficult. Yeah, I had a hard time.
And finally, you know, it's sort of implied, Naomie, that your character will be along for further Bond adventures. Are you prepared to sort of devote yourself to however many more Bond films?
Well, we'll see what happens. Who knows what's going to happen with that character? We'll see.
Skyfall is interesting in that it's almost as much about M as it is about Bond. Was it a particularly exciting entry in the series for that reason?
It was, because I had much more to do, and there was much more to act and more to find out about her. and her relationship with Bond.
What is it that makes their relationship so special and unique, do you think?
I think there's a kind of sense of rudeness about the one, that she enjoys bossing him about so much and thinking she's got the upper hand. And he, in a way, enjoys being quite insolent sometimes to her. And so I think that that's at the back of it all, and a genuine affection.
Yeah, and you know, we see M and Bond both reveal a little bit more vulnerability this time around.
Yes.
Was that something that you had been wanting to see?
I didn't. Yes, I would have liked to have seen it, but it was written for this. This script was written, you know, and there it was to show, and so what a great opportunity.
And you know, even getting on the action a little bit.
Yes.
Was it especially fun to be around some
Yes,
explosions?
Yes, it was absolutely thrilling. Very, very exciting indeed, and not least driving that very, very fast car.
Yes.
Or
And
be driven in that very, but I would have liked to have driven it, but I didn't get the chance.
they didn't let you.
No,
Well, you got to fire a gun.
I did.
Did you show Daniel a few things?
No, I didn't show Daniel anything, just laughed a lot. But no, I didn't, but I had to go to Shed 19, which is the ammunitions shed. That was thrilling to get a call for that.
Right, and that's where they teach you how to
They do.
work it and everything?
They do.
And so are you looking forward to
I'm
adding
looking
more?
forward to seeing it.
You haven't seen the film yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Good, I hope so.